What if I told you the future of gaming doesn't involve buying a new console every few years? Imagine a world where the very titans who built their empires on hardware might just be ready to walk away from it all. Just last week, the gaming world buzzed with a truly startling rumor. A quote, supposedly from a high-ranking Sony executive, began making the rounds. It suggested Sony was moving away from a hardware-centric business model. Now, we quickly learned that this was likely a misinterpretation, a classic case of corporate jargon taken out of context, probably just some fluff for investors to show Sony knows what they are doing. But even if it was just noise, it sparked a fascinating and frankly, quite brave opinion from one of our readers, Coolsbane. He argues that this is not just a rumor Sony should deny. It is a strategy they should actively embrace. In fact, he believes Sony should stop making home consoles entirely, including the PlayStation 6. Why such a bold stance? Well, Coolsbane points a finger directly at Microsoft and Xbox. Now, let us be clear, he is not exactly a fan of Xbox's influence, especially with their aggressive acquisitions of major studios like Activision and Bethesda. He worries Microsoft, with gaming being such a small slice of their massive pie, would abandon the entire division in a heartbeat if it stopped serving their larger corporate goals. We have seen thousands of job losses there recently, so you understand his concern. Despite Microsoft owning so much of the gaming industry now, their Xbox Series X has frankly struggled. Many people, including Coolsbane, suspect Microsoft might eventually give up making consoles themselves, despite their official denials. They are already shifting, becoming more of a third-party publisher, releasing games on other platforms. This is not a sign of weakness, it is a strategic pivot. Microsoft is actively trying to redefine the battlefield. They are telling us consoles are not important anymore, and that platform exclusives are anti-consumer. And here is the kicker. This narrative is actually working. Even without definitive statements from Sony, we are already seeing their major titles, once exclusive bastions, appearing day one on PC. Take Helldivers 2. For instance, it is Sony's biggest live service success, yet it is on PC, and rumors suggest it is even coming to Xbox. Why? Because Sony makes more money from those in-game microtransactions by selling to all gamers, not just the ones who buy a PlayStation 5. Coolsbane predicts a logical, if perhaps unwelcome, conclusion. Sony will eventually transition into becoming a third-party publisher themselves. He fears they might take too long to embrace this reality, leaving Microsoft in a dominant position. Microsoft, he argues, wants to become the Netflix of gaming, not just because of Game Pass, but because they are building an enormous library of games and companies, all powered by their own cloud gaming service. Right now, Sony might be winning the console war. Xbox is not really even competing in that traditional sense anymore. But that is just a single battle, Coolsbane reminds us. The real war, the one for influence in the games industry, rages on. And the new battleground? It is multi-format subscription services, cloud gaming, and those omnipresent live service games. We know these are not always what hardcore gamers obsess over, but this is our new reality. If Sony clings to the old glories, if they focus too much on console hardware, Coolsbane firmly believes they will quickly become irrelevant. He makes a compelling argument that we do not need a PlayStation 6 home console at all. A portable? Sure, that is different. But the core idea that hardware dictates the future? That is an outdated concept. Sony, he argues, needs to understand this, and fast, to truly thrive in this evolving landscape. So what do you think? Is this the inevitable future for PlayStation, Xbox, and perhaps all dedicated gaming hardware? Are we truly entering an era where our games live in the cloud and on every screen, rather than tied to a specific box under our TV? Or is there still a place, a vital necessity, for the console as we know it? We want to hear your thoughts. Join the conversation on our social media, or drop us a line directly. And if you enjoyed this discussion, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into the world of tech and gaming.